What is up? This is my torque wrench. We are set to 110 foot-pounds. And what I'm going to do is put these two tools against each other just to kind of give you an idea. Now the size of these tools is pretty similar, but the Makita is it's about an inch shorter and a little bit shorter this direction as well. It's wider when it comes to the width. I just have to take my word on it because I don't know where my dial caliper is, but you can kind of see, actually it's not, it's about the same, maybe just a tiny bit wider. And so first off, we're going to put the 2 ampere hour on the Makita, and pretty much all I have is the 3s and a 4 amp hour. The 4 amp hour is not going to give it any more power, so that wouldn't make any sense to waste my time with that. And then also we're going to try a 5 amp hour on the Makita, but first we're going to use the same lug nut, which is going to be this one, where it's missing the little white stuff, or I mean it's missing the coating on the rim where it's scratched off. And so we're going to tighten that down to 110. First I'm going to loosen it just to make sure, because I had already tightened it. And by the way, don't do that with your expensive torque wrenches. There we go, 110. And we'll start off with the Ridgid because the bit's already in it, and it's a fully charged battery. The 2 amp hour on the Makita is not fully charged because I already did this test like twice, and my camera fucked up on me. So yeah, so here we go. And by the way, I had the 2 amp hour in this exact same tool, and it took the lugs off faster and easier. So it's not always about the battery size. Sometimes it's about the finesse. Right, here we go. There you go. We gotta tighten that back up. And I don't have the 2 amp hour anymore. Test with, because it came with a blower, and I had returned the blower because it was starting to make a weird smell, and so the battery went with it, which sucks because I liked the battery. I used it in my impact all the time for getting into tight spaces, and that's kind of why I picked this up, because it's a little bit smaller. So 2 amp hour battery, and it's not fully charged even though it says it is. It's not fully charged because I did this test twice already, and I've used it a couple times before that. So here we go. No bueno. Still didn't burn a bar off. These batteries are like ridiculously good. Alright, I'll switch to the 5 amp hour. And surprisingly, this took that off relatively easy, because this wasn't an easy one to get off. This one right here was, and one of the other ones was easy, but this one was medium. So let's try this one. Okay, so there's why these tests do not make any sense if you're not using the exact same fasteners, and the exact same fasteners when they get hot. There's too many variables in these tests. I don't like these tests, but I like to get an idea. Ooh, that got warm. That got really warm. This one's cold to the touch. But yeah, So that one didn't budge with the other one. Let's tighten this one down. Let's see if we can budge it with this one. Oh my gosh, a Ridgid actually won a test. That is insane. I'm sorry, that's insane, because I think when it comes to like the tightening of screws and different things, I think, and by the way, this is a 5 amp hour. This is a 3 amp hour with the 2107 cell, or 21700 cells. And this thing is really not that powerful. I have another video where I use this up against the subcompact, and the subcompact actually beats this in removing lug nuts. So that's insane. But yeah, I'm really surprised that this one had so much trouble. Let's try it one more time. Oop, got it a little too tight to get an accurate reading. There we go. And we're gonna try the 2 amp hour again, because sometimes the lower speed, it finesses it off. I don't understand how it works. Maybe it's harmonics, vibrations, and whatnot. But it does work in different scenarios. Let's try it again. Because earlier when I did this test, it removed it just fine. So, I don't know, maybe it got hot. Ooh, that does not smell good. I don't know, Makita. It seems it's super hot, and it smells like burning oil. This is a Makita, the supposed Ferraris, and the model number is XDT14. Z is what it says on the box, but it doesn't say the Z, because that is probably due to the kit, bare tool versus kit. And that was on high. These lights are not easy to see on the camera, but it is on high. Okay, now if you notice this, listen. That's forward. Spins faster in reverse. So it should have done this a lot easier. And it won't even do it with the 5 amp hour. One more try. Finally. Gee whiz. I never thought I'd say this, but the Ridgid's better. Crazy. But that's just on this one test. So we'll have to wait for this to cool down or stick in the freezer for about 4 hours, because it is like burning hot. This is cold to the touch. I never thought I'd say that, because I usually have so much issues with those. Of course, it also could have to do with the adapter itself, but the little short Makitas and the Milwaukees, when you do these tests, they snap right off because they're junk. This is literally a Harbor Freight one that's designed with a different molecular structure on the metal, that it'll absorb more of it and create heat and dissipate in heat, while the others, they'll just snap right off. All has to do with the hardness of the metals and the flexibility of the molecules. But whatever. And now that's the one I was talking about. This is super hard to get off. I was actually just trying to see which ones are loose. So All I gotta do is get these tightened back on, and that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to find out more about these particular tools or any tools that I own.